The Dodgers have an absolutely major problem on their hands, and there isn't a lot of time to fix it. And I'm here to tell you all about it. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 12% of you, the ones that are watching these videos, who have already subscribed. We're now getting thousands of you watching every single video. I want to thank everybody for the support. But 87% of you have not hit that subscribe button yet. Make sure to subscribe. Myself and Brad J are bringing you everyday Dodger videos. Of course, even once the offseason comes around, whenever that is, hopefully it is not this week, and hopefully it's at the end of October, we're still going to be bringing you everyday Dodger videos. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that Dodger content. Let's get right into it. Of course, the Dodgers end up losing tonight, but 6-5. But let's just put the main story of the game once again has to be the pitching, right? The pitching is the major story. That was the final line for Walker Buehler. Giving up 7 hits, and of course getting charged with 6 runs. And what's really frustrating, of course, with this game was that it really came down to one inning, right? It came down to one inning. It just shows you how playoff baseball is, right? Playoff baseball is an animal of its own. There's nothing quite like it. And the Dodgers, of course, started out this game exactly like how you want to start it. Mookie Betts getting an early home run. Jurickson Profar almost stole that home run away again from Mookie Betts. Kind of strange. Mookie Betts hitting it basically in the same location of the field, of course, the outfield and over the fence. San Diego Petco Park also has a low fence in left field. Kind of strange, just like Dodger Stadium. Profar almost stole that away, but this time he couldn't. The ball was kind of too far into the crowd, and it went over. And we were happy. Dodger fans were happy, celebrating Mookie Betts getting his first playoff home run in years. I mean, that was good, right? I mean, we were feeling pretty good. At least I was feeling pretty good after that first inning. Bottom top of the first inning, Dodgers up 1-0. You're feeling pretty good, especially on the road, because the environment going into this game, listening to the crowd prior to the game even starting was already pretty electric, right? And just for the Dodgers to get that early home run was something important. It was definitely a crowd deafening moment, right? Getting that home run to start off the game, but everything just went south in the second inning, right? It had just completely, just everything went wrong that could go wrong. And that's, unfortunate, because Walker Buehler, was definitely doing his job. Of course, he didn't have the best of games, let's be honest, but the fielding was, of course, not what you would like, and also there was a huge call that we have to talk about. I mean, take a look at this. The guys on the post game, the national post game, Derek Jeter and Big Papi, and of course A-Rod on Fox. They were pretty clear. How is this not interference? I mean, take a look at this. I mean, I'm giving you the evidence. This is clearly interference. Manny Machado gets in the way of this throw from Freddie Freeman. And there's no way around this. I mean, how does the umpire miss this call? It's absolutely absurd. Once again, the Dodgers being, just screwed over by the umpires once again. And this is just absolutely ridiculous how this is not interference. It changes the entire inning. Of course, Freddie Freeman, if that's an out, that's a big out, right? Because it wasn't an out, right? Everybody ends up being saved. And that changes the whole inning. It could have, obviously Freddie was going for the double play. The double play wouldn't have happened if it would have hit Manny, because it would have been interference. But it would have just been one out. But it still would have been a big out. Now, of course, you can't say this was the only thing that went wrong in this inning. Miguel Rojas not tossing the ball over to Lux at second was a big play as well. Hit, on a ground ball. That was big, but come on, this is interference. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous how this is not called. I don't understand. Like Derek Jeter also talked about on the post game, how the Dodgers don't argue this. I mean, you have extra umpires in the playoffs as well, and for these guys not to make that call is disappointing, but it's not shocking because the majority of these umpires in baseball are absolutely terrible. They are terrible. They don't do their job. They make terrible calls game to game. The balls and strikes are so inconsistent. That's why I, of course, am advocating for robot umpires to call the balls and strikes because these guys can't tell what a strike zone is. And it's time to fix that. And we have the technology to do that now. So hopefully as the years go on, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years, we replace these guys with people, not with people, but with actual computers that will do a better job because they don't do their job, these guys. And they don't have the best interest of the players and fans and the league itself. I don't know what's going on. I have my conspiracy theories about everything, especially with the umpires, and there is definitely something up with the way baseball is umpired and how they make these terrible calls in these big games. This was a bad call, right? And it definitely changed the game. You don't want to see a game get decided by that. And yeah, it's just unfortunate, to say the least. And yeah, the second inning was a complete disaster. And Walker Buehler, made it. I blame him for the Tatis home run. The Tatis home run was the big one, right? I mean, it was a bad pitch to Tatis there, to Fernando Tatis. It was a really bad pitch, and that of course ends up being the winning home run, right? Because it was 4-1 when he hit that, and it made it 6-1 after that. So those two runs end up being the winning runs because, as we know, the third, top of the third inning, Teoscar Hernandez hits a grand slam to make this 6-5, and you're feeling pretty good. But then look, but what happens next? Well, I mean, the offense completely disappeared. Look at this final box line. I mean, the Dodgers didn't have only had one base runner after the third inning. A Freddie Freeman base hit, which of course he had to check out of the game after that because Freddie Freeman had gotten injured earlier, of course, in this game, trying to make a catch, and he did make that catch, and falling, his foot fell, of course, on the first base, probably re-aggravating that ankle even further. And so he was not 100%, and of course he gets a base hit and he has to check out. That was it after the big third inning. There was absolutely nothing going on. Max Muncy going 0 for 4. Will Smith 0 for 4. Gavin Lux 0 for 4. Gavin Lux striking out on a fastball right down the middle. Sure, it was 100 miles an hour, but you don't like to see that. And just nothing going on offensively. And of course, San Diego had, of course, their pitching was on point outside of the third inning. Outside of that bad inning, in the third inning, everybody else was good for San Diego, unfortunately, and the Dodgers just did not have the offense tonight. They did not have the offense, and the starting pitching, once again, it was poor. Walker Buehler, didn't have a horrible start because, David Roberts left him in, and he was able to kind of, of course, ride the ship after that. Not allowing San Diego to really do much after that. So you have to commend him for that. But that one inning ends up deciding this entire game. And unfortunately, could decide the season for the Dodgers, right? They don't come back. They lose tomorrow or Friday. The series is over, and you're going to kind of point at that inning today. It could be the defining inning. We don't know. You hope for the best. You hope somehow tomorrow the Dodgers are going to have Landon Knox starting. Probably a bullpen game. You don't see Knack going too far. The Padres are going to have Dylan Cease pitching on short rest. Cease, of course, pitched game 1, and he is going to go for the San Diego tomorrow. So, yeah, just not a good situation right now. Like I mentioned, there's major problems with this team. As we know, it's a pitching. Everybody from L.A. to New York, L.A. to London, L.A. to anywhere in the world knows that this Dodgers team doesn't have good pitching, right, at this time with all the injuries, and that's going to be a tough hurdle for them, to say the least, in tomorrow's game, and if necessary, even Game 5, it's going to be a challenge. So, got to take it a game at a time, and yeah, tomorrow is a must-win for the Dodgers. Just like 2 years ago in Game 4 of the NLDS, when they played in San Diego, a game that I was at. I will not be at the game tomorrow, so hopefully luck is different because, of course, I was present for that Game 4 where the Dodgers got eliminated, but I won't be there tomorrow, so hopefully things turn out differently. That's, once again, needing a win tomorrow to force a Game 5 back in LA where anything can happen. So, gotta hope for the best. Remember, subscribe, and let's go Dodgers.